You have now entered a new dimension through the expansion of the internet world. I am Johnny Allen, and this is the Johnny Allen Podcast Show. And the 30-minute podcast does start now. I am your host, Johnny Allen. How you guys doing out there today? Hope you're doing well. It's June 17, 2021. Welcome to the podcast. I talk about everyday life situations and just stuff that goes on in the world. And I'm a musician. I'm going to review the Nancy Wilson CD that I got last week. Thank you, Nancy. Autographed, as you can see. I did check it out. And we'll talk a little bit about that. Say hi to Barney. Barney the dog. All right. Hope you guys are having a fantastic week so far. Hey, I'm in the Midwest, actually in Indiana, in the U.S. of A. And the weather has been really good. Really, really well here. Really, really well. So, without further ado, we're going to have a sip of coffee, guys. We're just getting started. And don't forget what Sunday is right there. Happy Father's Day. All right. And this was actually artwork by my granddaughter a few years ago. Audrey. Thank you, Audrey, if you're watching. And let's have a toast, early toast. Remember Father's Day this weekend? To all the dads in the world, right? Dads and granddads. Because, face it, if we didn't have them, the world would be a lot different, right? And I think some political people would like to get rid of dads, and that's a whole nother podcast. And fathers, that's a whole nother podcast. It won't work, though. Anyway, cheers to the fathers. Oh, yeah. And today, I got something in the mail. Speaking of coffee, let's just see what I got. I got something in the mail today. Something that came in the mail. Let's check it out. Oh, wow. There you go. Look at that. Look at that. CW Gourmet Coffee. Building a legacy. There you go. Go get that. I wish you guys could smell over the internet. At least this anyway. Oh my gosh. This stuff. Oh man, you could get high off of seriously smelling the coffee. I'm really hooked on this, guys. If you're a coffee drinker, you better go get it. And the prices are going up because they're having trouble. And I'll talk a little bit about the environment a little bit and what's causing some, what kind of trouble we're having in the environment that's causing the coffee prices to rise. Thank you, Tim. This is the CWE Coffee Company. Again, thank you, Tim, up there in Michigan. And I want to tell you the truth. I ordered this. This is Thursday. I shot him a text on Sunday. Here it is. Comes quick. And my good buddy Tony out there in Vegas, I sent you a bag, so be expecting it soon, my friend. Anyway, we're going to talk a little bit about Father's Day. It is coming up this weekend. I will not see my father on Father's Day, but I will see him when I get back because I'm going on a little bit of a vacation. If I get time, I may do a live video over my phone where I'm at. Maybe. But if not, I'll see you the week after next Thursday, which will be the beginning of, I believe it'll be the beginning of July, right? Actually, it will be July 1. Wow, this year is just really flying. Flying by, guys. I mean, going by so quick, it's unbelievable. Right, Barney? Right, Barney? Say hi, Barney. All right, guys, like I said, we're just getting started. I had a pretty good day. I've had a pretty good week this week. How about you guys? Comment below. How's your week been? I tell you what, this week has actually been pretty good. not bad. The weather's been great. The day job has been pretty good. People have been in a good mood. And you know what? When you're in a good mood, and when people are in good moods, it just makes the whole world a lot better place. I mean, it may sound a little cliche, it may sound pretty basic. Yeah, John, when people are in good moods, but really when everybody's kind of upbeat, it just makes the day go so much better, even when you're working, right? Even when you're working. But if you still have your dad, if you have a dad, just say hi to him. Try to be with him if you can. My dad's getting older. I did a podcast, I think, last year about my father. If you'd like to go on the back episodes on my YouTube channel, you can see that on the YouTube channel side. My dad has been a very good and still is a very good father figure. Did we have our bumps in the road growing up? Of course so. I mean, all kids do, right? I was a teenager. I was a little, whatever, and, things happen. But my dad is a fantastic father. I'm just blessed to have both great parents. But we're talking about dad today. And, if you're watching Dad, thanks for being such a great dad. I mean, really, he's there to teach you lessons. He taught my brother and I lessons. He helps you out when you're in a serious bind and crisis. I've had a couple of crises in my life, and he's been there for me. So I do appreciate that. So kudos to the dads out there. Happy Father's Day. I will be out visiting family on the East Coast, and so around the Father's Day period. So I won't be with my dad, but I will get with him very soon. So anyway, going down the list of things, like I said, we're going to talk about Nancy's CD. I did get a chance to listen to it a little bit. All right, so kind of switching over. As you can tell, I'm wearing this Cabin Life shirt. And it's Sean James, My Self-Reliance, which if you guys don't know him, I follow him on YouTube. He has a huge YouTube channel. Now he's doing a forest shirt now because he doesn't actually have a cabin now. It's kind of sad if you follow his channel. He had built this cabin several years ago. The whole story is he had to move from it. He's moved. He sold the cabin. Is what I'm getting ready. Is what I'm saying. He sold the cabin. It's kind of a bittersweet moment. He videotaped it, and this guy worked hard, built this thing by hand. He had to sell it. Like I said, you could go onto his channel and get the whole story. But it was a bittersweet thing when he did the episode about having to sell the property, and this is the last time I'll be here. So his T-shirts have changed. So this is kind of maybe a collector's item now. I don't know, Sean, if you're watching. I think it's a collector's item. But he's building a new cabin, and he's actually on the homestead, and he's got forest. I think his new ones are Forest Life. I don't know. I may have to go grab one of those. But I really do like Sean James because the guy is real, sincere, as far as I could tell on the channel. I know he's helped me out through some binds, watching some of his episodes. I've put some of them on my personal Facebook page. I've shared some of them. So if you get a chance and you like the wilderness, and he's a really good video photographer. If you like Canadian wilderness, check out Sean James, My Self-Reliance. I may link his channel too. And like I said, go get the CW coffee. All these things that I like, I'll link that I really like. I'll link them on the bottom. You guys can go check them out. So what brings me to talk a little bit about Sean James and wearing his shirt, and it's related to the coffee issue. Okay. The reason why the coffee prices are going up is because the coffee bean crop is going down. They're struggling with the demand of coffee has been really hard. The rainforest, or where they get the coffee from, basically Brazil and Colombia and a few places where they get the places where they harvest coffee. I heard that 80% of them are suffering in a drought right now. So the coffee production is dropped. They're only going to get 80% of the coffee. So it's drought-like situations. The environment's pretty tricky. I mean, we had a lot of rain here in the Midwest, like 2 weeks ago. A lot of rain. Now we haven't had rain for a week. My yard's already drying up. and I got a little garden and I have to water and everything. But what I'm getting at is that the weather is really delicate right now. And I don't want to get into the climate change thing and all this stuff because that's a whole different thing. That's a whole podcast. But the weather is definitely changing. And Sean up there in Canada on his new homestead is having a problem with drought already. And it's only June. And I'll really get into getting into July now. But that's early. That's very early to have any kind of drought. The dryness in the yard, they're forecasting rain this weekend, which I hope we get it. But the dryness in our yard usually doesn't get that way till about September. So the environment is changing. So it's delicate. So let's do our best to take care of it. Some of it's in our control. Some of it is not in our control, folks. But like on the coffee, let's really watch our coffee consumptions. And I'm going to make this bag last me probably, and I'm sorry, Tim. I know you don't want to hear this, but I'm going to try to make this bag last at least a month, maybe a month and a half. And it's not because of the prices. It's because I'm really conscientious about, not wasting stuff. I compost. I don't waste anything. So the environment is being affected. It's, I don't want to get too much into the world thing, but, we live in scary times right now, guys. If you don't know, you've been living under a rock. And I don't watch the news all the time, but we really are living under these scary moments. And we got to be, and it doesn't mean we got to freak out and, I'm paranoid and everything. I mean, live every day to the fullest. Obviously, enjoy life, obviously. But kind of conserve on your water. Start thinking about conserving and being more like Sean James and being self-reliant. I mean, and the thing is about Sean James real quick, it's like he's worked so hard to do these things, to be self-sufficient, to try to really, preserve and conserve in the environment and not living off the grid and not using electricity as, solar panels, all this stuff. And he is having a hard time with drought and stuff that's not even in his control. And if you don't believe me about the drought, it's pretty scary. Another thing, go look at the Hoover Dam out in Arizona and in Vegas. The Hoover Dam is, and I was out there in the 90s and it was full and no problem. The Hoover Dam is at record level lows. It's almost dried up. It's scary, the Hoover Dam. That's where Vegas gets their water. That's where a lot of people get their water. It's kind of concerning. I mean, I'm not trying to sound, like I said, I'm not trying to be doom and gloom, but we can't take things for granted, folks. I mean, people complain, it's raining again and everything. I'm never complaining about the rain. I mean, you need it. They need it out west. They, desperately need it in Colorado. They need to fill that. We need to really buckle down and conserve. And like I said, I got gas powered cars and I'm not into all this, electric everything, because here's the thing too. It takes generators and things to make power electricity to recharge batteries, to recharge cars. Batteries themselves are very toxic, lead in them and things like that. So we're in kind of a tricky situation as far as like where we're going to get our power, where we're going to get our resources from, right? Where we're going to get all these things. So try turning off lights. I turn off my monitors when I don't use them. I'm turning the monitors off. As a whole, let's just really think about the environment. I hate to sound like that because I never was one of these environmental freaks. And I'm saying freaks in a nice way. I'm not saying that people that are concerned about the environment are freaks, but I mean freak as in, I guess the word freak is not the right word I'm looking for. A fanatic about, I got to turn this off. I got to do this. I got to conserve this. I got to conserve that. But really, looking at what's going on lately, we really need to do that, man. A Hoover Dam drying up. Canada in a drought. My yard's already dry, and we've had rain. The coffee. Could you imagine a world without coffee? It could happen. Could you imagine? But even worse, could you imagine a world without water? We're not going to make it. Anyway, that's half of the podcast today. 15 minutes I talked about the environment and the drought situation, but it's true. So let's all do our parts to try to save the water. We don't need to run the shower for 5 hours. We don't need to take long showers and all that stuff. I'm not trying to preach to you, but really look around what's going on. Look around. we really need to kind of watch what we're doing, people. We're going to run out of stuff. All right, shifting gears to music, something a little more lighter. Nancy Wilson. Okay, if you watched last week's, and thank you guys on Facebook. You guys on Facebook are awesome. It just like people are watching this podcast on Facebook and on all the podcast outlets as far as like the audio side of it, the podcast network and all that. Thank you guys for supporting the channel. YouTube, not so much. I don't know what's going on with YouTube. But anyway, if you watched my show last week, I talked about Nancy Wilson. I did play this CD, and oh my gosh, guys, it's good. Nancy, if you're listening, oh my gosh, kudos to you, woman. You still got it, and look how just like gorgeous she is. Oh my gosh, the songs are all great. I love all of them. If you get a chance, go out there and get that. Go out there and get it. It's just a wonderful CD, and she's got some covers on it too. She's got an interesting cover, Daughter by Pearl Jam. Pearl Jam is one of my favorite bands. I've actually covered a couple Pearl Jam songs myself. I recorded a version of Black, which is okay, but her version of Daughter is great. It's a great CD. It's what I would call it's organic. It's not organic. It is organic. It's not pasteurized. It is organic. It's real sounding, kind of like the Crossroads Saints CD that you guys hopefully will hear August. I'll update you on that in a second. But she's keeping it real. You know what I mean? And I like that, keeping things real. I love keeping things real. I love organic. I hate artificial stuff anymore. I just do. Whether it comes to food, whether it comes to intelligence, artificial, blah, 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 artificial, blah, blah. I don't like it. And the same with music, man. I mean, if you like techno stuff and music, that's cool. Whatever, I respect some of that stuff. But anyway, this album is really cool. I mean, real electric guitars, real drums for the most part. I mean, I think she's got some electronics in there, but not much. And it's just really, her playing with her band and session musicians. And the musicians she's got around her, of course, are really top notch. They're good musicians. Great sounding album. She kept it organic, I guess. That's what I'm trying to say. She kept the thing organic. It's great. Update, especially, since we're on music, update with the Crossroads Saints. Crossroads Saints is the band that I'm in. It's myself, my brother, and Daryl Venable, keyboardist. Daryl wrote these last batch of 11 songs. They're all original. There's no covers. They're all great. All the musicians that are involved in it are all great. I mean, that's all I got to say. And I just got a text from Daryl today, and he says it's looking like these songs are going to be out in August. Keep our fingers crossed. Because when I get back from my little vacation, my whole schedule's open. I'm ready to, start promoting this stuff. Also writing some stuff on my own, on the side. That's what I'm doing this summer. Basically for placements. And I talked about that last week. I already got that stuff started. And we'll see, what else is Johnny Allen doing this summer? Besides kicking back and enjoying family and friends, I don't know if I'm going to be gigging at all. I have no idea. I don't know. Right now, there's nothing on the schedule with gigging with anybody. But I am going to working on restoring my old car. That's one thing I'm doing. Crossroads Saints, what comes down the pike, involved in that, of course. Writing my own stuff. Doing some stuff around my house. Basically kind of kicking back a little bit this year. And, I'm okay with kicking back. And my brother and I may start this YouTube channel in the fall. We were delayed because of COVID and making a record, but I think we're going to get that ramped up this fall. I'll let you know about that. Remember, don't forget Father's Day, right, Barney? Look at Barney. Do you ever have that look? I get that look all the time around people. Today at work, somebody said something about being crazy. Well, this is going to make you crazy. Someone said, oh, this will make you crazy. I said, well, I'm already crazy. I'm already crazy. And I'm just trying to rank my craziness now. Could 10 being the craziest, right? I said, I'm about at an 8. and crazy in a good way, not crazy as in psycho crazy, just crazy and fun crazy and goofy crazy. That's me. I'm looking forward, though. This will be the first really week I've had off for a long time. And when I'm off, I'm not going to worry about anything. I'm not even going to think about music or nothing while I'm gone on my hiatus for a week. When I get back, though, we are starting on July 4th. Right after that, we are going to start having guests. Okay, that's on my notes. We're going to start having guests, and one of the guests I'm going to have is Anthony Scott out in Vegas. We're going to talk about this subject. It's a hotbed right now, and I've known about it for years. I've actually seen these craft UFO back in the 70s. People made fun of me back in the 70s. They said, "Oh, John, you're just a wacky blah, blah, blah. You're goofy, blah, blah, blah." I got teased in high school and junior high and stuff about the UFOs I seen. And guess what? I'm 57 years old now, and the Pentagon is talking about it. And the Navy is shooting videos of it. The same stuff I seen back in 1975. So anyway, UFOs are cool. And the guy that's going to do the guy I'm going to have on as a guest lives out there right by Area 51. We grew up together. We saw these UFOs on occasions. And we're going to get together and we're going to talk about all this stuff. Because right now it's like new news. Everybody's like, oh, wow. You know, and like I said, I knew we had UFOs, you know, and stuff that wasn't explained and probably from out of this world, you know, back in the 70s, guys, you know, 40 years ago. But anyway, we're going to talk about that, Tony and I. So one of the guests on here, another guest I'd like to have is my friend Steve Harbaugh. He just released a book. If I get a chance, I'll put the link on the bottom. He just wrote a book. One of my good friends wrote a book. I'm like, wow, cool. I've never met anybody. I've never known anybody personally that's written a book. Steve has, soft cover. I'm going to go get it. It's an Amazon. If you're into faith and just good stories and good feel-good stories and hearing testimonies from people, he interviewed a lot of people, I guess. I haven't read the book yet, obviously, but I'm going to get it. We'll go out and get Steve's book. Like I said, I'll try to get the link on there. If I don't get the link here, I will get the link eventually to show you how you direct you on where you could go get his book. So kudos to Steve. I mean, that's really cool. Also, I'm going to get Woody on. He's my pastor, and he's a great guy. He's got a podcast on Woo, and I'll link that one too. Also would like to talk to Chris and Daniel down there in Austin, Texas. They're still doing, you know, Box Kickers Talking Sports. I don't keep up with sports a whole lot anymore, but I may talk to Chris and see what's going on, how he got involved in this, and we'll just have a short conversation with him and Daniel, and, you know, they could talk about the show. Also, my coffee guy, Tim, will be on. And Tim was going to talk about how he's started the CWE Coffee Company, and just a great guy, and we'll talk to Tim. So we got some guests coming down the pike, which will be a lot of fun because, you know, after a while I get kind of tired of hearing myself. You know, that's the way it is. It's just nice to have guests on there. So we talked about all these things. I want to give kudos to the Roundtable Recording Company and Corey Miller, again, my engineer. Roundtable Recording Companies in Broad Ripple, Indiana. If you're a musician, you're close, or even you're not close, fly in. You know, they just made the cover of Mix Magazine. I mean, these guys are great. Travis and the gang, Corey, Tim, you know, Kuzo's Roundtable, Noah and those guys. I mean, there's quite a few guys in there that I like. It's a great recording studio, one of the top-notch recording studios. They have nice hats. Here's my hat. And they have nice T-shirts. Roundtable Recording Company. There's the hat again. Look at that hat. That's a nice-looking hat. Corey, I've worked with Corey for years. And this is his new studio they started about a year ago. And he's done such a great job, and it's just a great place to work. Mike and I went there last Friday, spent just a couple hours. We took old music that we had, that we recorded in the past, and we chopped them up. We actually called it stingers, which are little samples of music that we're going to put in our library. We're starting a library to put out there for, you know, TV placements and things like that. Don't forget Father's Day. A couple last things I'd like to talk about before I get out of here. Just enjoy life, like I said all the time. Just, you know, things can kind of get you down, man. I mean, even me, I had like a rough moment a couple days ago. I'm thinking, oh, man. You know, nothing really bad, but, you know, just thinking about people that, you know, we had a lot of people pass away. COVID's still here. I know this lady that used to go to our church, and she's about my age. She's got COVID now and fighting for her life. So it's not totally gone with all these vaccinations and stuff. And just the world problems, if you let it get to you, it will. It kind of got to me a little bit, got me down. And I had to, you know, bring myself back up again. So that's the secret. And Drugs and alcohol, I drink a little bit, not a lot. I'm not condoning that, but really drugs and alcohol don't really help things. I talked about this with my daughter real quickly. We talked about people that have addictions and everything. And you know what? All it does is it make you feel good for a little bit, but it's just like a Band-Aid. If you really need stitches and you're just putting Band-Aids on them, it's not going to really heal properly. So drugs and alcohol are just a Band-Aid when you really need stitches, right? And in order to get the stitches to heal up your spirit, you just have to do that yourself. Without any help from chemicals. You just have to get your spirituality together. We'll talk about that in another podcast, but really, that's what it is. And I think what's made this week so good for me so far is that everybody in the house, when I talk about the house, home, which home's always pretty good, but the house, the workhouse, everybody's been in good moods. Good moods. And I tell you what, that's a secret. It sounds so simple, but it really is. Be in a good mood. Be cheerful. I go up to people and say, hey, how you doing today? How are things going? And, they'll say, oh, it's okay. I was out for a while. I'm sorry to hear that, man. Hopefully things get better, right? And all that. And just general conversation like that. Hey, what's for dinner? Stuff like that. Pay it forward once in a while. If you can afford it, pay it forward. I do that sometimes. All that good stuff, Don't forget your dad this weekend. That's really all I got. Remember the environment. I mean, I'm not trying to be this environmental guy. I'm not like preaching to hey, we gotta, shove corkscrews up cows' butts and stuff because they can't fart and all this ridiculous stuff. You can't drive gas cars. I'm like this. Here's my whole thing with the environment. We have to be really conserve, and don't be reckless and foolish with it. Right? I mean, cut your yard and just think common sense wise. Don't have to consume a bunch of water, consume a bunch of food. You don't have to leave electricity running all the time. Like I told my wife the other night, when it cooled off, I said, we're turning the air conditioning off. For one, I'm saving power and electricity. For two, I'm saving power and electricity. And for three, I'm saving electricity. And for four, I'm saving money. Okay, and I'm just saving on the environment. Okay, we're saving on the environment. And I think we really need to do that, sincerely. So anyway, I'm going to wrap this up today. Don't forget to say hi to Dad this weekend. If you can't be with him, at least give him a call and say, hey, Dad, what's happening? Go get your CWE coffee up there. Oh, my gosh, I'm telling you guys, I wish you could smell it. This stuff it's really good. It is good. I mean, it's really good coffee. Thank you, Audrey, for my Father's Day mug. If you get a chance, look at my back episode about Father's Day on YouTube. I think you'll enjoy that one. Kudos to Dad out there. Hey, Dad, we love you. I'm glad you and Mom are doing well. Say goodbye to Barney. Barking Barney and myself. Barking Barney and myself. It's been a long day. I don't know. Maybe I should get a female dog, too, and call her Barking Bonnie so, we're politically correct here. We may do that in the future. Anyway, just have a safe time. Enjoy your life. I'll see you probably a week from Thursday. We're going to, like I said, start ramping up these guests in July. Keep your post on Crossroads Saints and everything else that's going on. This is Johnny Allen in the 30-Minute Podcast. Thanks for stopping in, letting me talk for a little while. Remember, if you want to comment about anything below, just say, how was your day? Comment. Let's kind of keep up on the environment, right? Because drought is scary, right? Especially when it's so massive. Used to just hear about that in, Africa and stuff. Now it's all over the place, man. We don't want the planet to dry up. God willing, man, I'll see you guys, probably the week after next, because next weekend I'm on my little next weekend, whatever, I'm on a hiatus. So going to take a little bit of a break. See you guys soon. Thanks for stopping by. Don't forget to like and subscribe on the YouTube side. And all's good. All's good, right? Later.